gonna eat. I'm gonna eat. You guys are gonna watch me eat. But today we're gonna do a mukbang. Honestly, if y'all really want to know the truth, I really wanted to talk about
coronavirus.
Really, I wanted to talk about the whole coronavirus thing. Honestly, it's really a big deal.
Shit is getting real. Woo!
Everything is shut down. Places are closed. Businesses are laying people off. People have lost their jobs. This is really impacting the nation right now. And I just feel like there's a lot to be said about it, honestly. So we're gonna eat. I'm gonna eat. You guys are gonna watch me eat. Yeah, Noodles and Company. I got the spicy peanut tofu and a pad thai. But you guys tell me, have you actually liked the video if you've had Noodles and Company before? I actually really like them. They are really good, actually. But take a little sip here, wet my whistle. So guys, okay, let's jump right in. First of all, how are you guys doing? I know this whole quarantine business, everybody is stuck in the house. Some of us with kids. So of course, you know, that in itself is a trying time. But what I wanted to kind of get into was, have you guys heard, for the ones who are kind of staying up on the whole coronavirus, COVID-19 situation, have you guys heard about so basically they're saying that there are more African Americans dying from the coronavirus pandemic than any other race. So what do you guys think about that? So my understanding is that the reason why is because African Americans have less access to healthcare. Also, I mean, there were a few different reasons that came up, but basically it had to do with the fact that supposedly they have less access to healthcare, which I can kind of believe. Also, African Americans have more comorbidities, they're saying. So like the diabetes and hypertension and cardiac issues. And so they're saying that when they catch the coronavirus, it's causing complications for them. So that's another reason why they're saying they're dying at higher rates, which is just so crazy. Because, you know, yeah, it was definitely crazy. You guys have to be careful out here. And the ironic part of it is that initially, I know that it was going around that some people were under the impression that Black people couldn't get it. You know, that was like a big thing. And I guess that was because like of like the news outlets were reporting that Africa had the lowest amount of cases, coronavirus cases. So yeah, then people start thinking, oh, Black people can't get it. Black people can't get it. And now look, Black people have the highest percentage of deaths. So like I said, you have to be careful. You have to stay cautious. Continue to wash your hands. Stay in the house if at all possible. Just be mindful, of what's going on, and know that it is serious. It is real. And, don't become a statistic, basically. So I just thought that was pretty crazy. And then something else I heard too. They were saying that at the Bronx Zoo in New York, one of their tigers tested positive for the coronavirus, which is crazy, because basically, I guess animals now, that kind of proves that they are actually or can be susceptible to contracting COVID-19 as well. Now, whether or not the virus can be transferred from that tiger per se to one of the human, zookeepers or any human that might come in contact with them, I don't know about that. But I read that and I just thought that was so crazy. How the tiger tested positive. So, honestly, I think we're so far off from getting back to like normal with everything, with our lives. I just think that it's going to take a while for stuff to get back to normal and how it was, before all of this kicked off. And honestly, I don't think anybody expected it to be as serious as it turned out to be. Well, but I'm saying, as far as like shutting down the schools, on like businesses closing and people getting laid off, I did not expect that, honestly. But in all fairness, I mean, I don't think we really had all the information, though, to be honest. Like, when this really first came to light back in January, nobody was taking it serious. I was on social media the other day, and there was this post going around, and it showed the headlines from the Kobe Bryant crash with him and his daughter. And on the side of that headline, in this little tiny space, was a little piece about the coronavirus. And that was back in what? January? Early January, I think. So early January, I mean, we knew about the virus, you know what I mean? Like, it was going around and Americans were aware of it, but nobody was really taking it like serious. And partly, I think, is because we didn't know so much. There's not very much that was known about it at that time. Even within like the healthcare field, there was so much like conflicting information going around. Because back in February, I can, remember, one person that I worked with in the hospital saying one thing and somebody else saying another thing. One person was saying, oh, the coronavirus can only live on surfaces for, a maximum of 30 minutes. And then somebody else was like, no, it can live on, different surfaces for, days. And it's like, okay, that is so far off. And that was within the hospital, people, saying different stuff. So I think we just didn't really know very much about it. But I think now, now we know a little bit more. And obviously, people are taking it more serious. But honestly, I think that I mean, yeah, places are shut down and, people are supposed to be obeying the stay-at-home order. But, I went out the other day because I had to pick up some items that we needed from the grocery store. And, I mean, there were people all over the streets. The gas station was full. I mean, there were multiple people at the gas station, multiple people on the road. Walgreens was packed. There were people. I mean, so I don't know. I'm not saying that we should take it to the point of like the Philippines. I don't know if you guys heard about that, but apparently the Philippines president authorized anyone who leaves their house that they could be shot, basically. I don't know about that. I think that might be infringing upon American rights. I don't know. I'm not necessarily saying we need to go that far, but I do think that they need to crack down a little bit more on these people who are out here, because, okay, I'm an essential worker. When I go to work, there are people out and these don't look like people who are, they don't look like they're rushing off to work is what I'm saying. So, why are you out? You should be at home. I just think it's crazy. I don't think people are really, really doing what they can to stay in the house. Maybe some people are, but not, I think not a good majority. And unfortunately, I think because of that, it is going to take us a lot longer to get over this. So by the time kids got to go back and start school in the fall, I really don't know about that. Truth be told, I was thinking about homeschooling, to be honest, because we homeschooled our one son last year, actually, and it wasn't so bad. We enrolled him in an online program. We enrolled him in the online curriculum. So I don't know. Depending on how things go, we may have to do that again next year. We got one kid that's getting ready to graduate this year, so he won't be in high school next year. But we got two other school-age children, so I don't know. We'll just play it by ear, I guess, this summer and see how things go. But I may have to consider homeschooling if things don't change. Because there's no real working, successful, proven vaccine out there for this. And I don't know. I just don't know how smart it is to put them back in school if this stuff is as rampant as it is now. But like I said, we'll play it by ear this summer, see how things go, and kind of go from there, I guess. Well, no thanks. So yeah, what about you guys? Do you guys have any kids? How have you guys been impacted by this whole coronavirus thing? I know a lot of people have been laid off. A lot of people have been furloughed. It's definitely tough times for a lot of people. It's so funny because, when the new year rolled in, I know a lot of us, especially here in America, we weren't really tuned into the whole COVID-19 thing that was going on over in China at that time. And I know a lot of us, nobody expected it to be, be as serious as it is here. So yeah, it was like 2020 rolled in and she was like, bitches. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That's just some things that I've been kind of reading on and I've come across, and I was just wondering if you guys had heard about that stuff. Man, so I'm scheduled to go back to work on Monday. I've been off of work since March 27th or something like that, because I had some vacation time scheduled. So I go back to work on Monday, which is what day? Monday is the Monday is the 13th. So I go back on the 13th of April. So that's a good little minute to be off. And then I work for 3 days. Because, you know, nurses, we typically do 3 12s. A week is basically like a normal schedule for a nurse in the hospital. So I work Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and then I'm off again for pretty much the rest of April. And why, you ask? Because I had vacation time put in before all of this mess kicked off. From like November, I had this vacation time put in. So it was all approved and finalized. And so, yeah. Which I'm not mad, because honestly, you know, as a nurse, you know, I mean, we signed up to take care of patients. We signed up to take care of people when they're sick. But, you know, this whole not having enough PPE, which is like the mask and gloves and gown, and basically all the protective stuff that you need, you know, not having that stuff, that makes it different. That takes it to a whole nother level. You know, that's like a cop, you know, signing up to be a cop and going through the training, and the freaking police department being like, well, we don't have any guns for you, and we don't have any, you know, bulletproof vests, but you still got to get out there on the streets. Like, no. Like, yes, I signed up to be a nurse and take care of the sick, but I didn't sign up to do that at the expense of not being able to protect myself. Like, that's just crazy. So I'm just saying, long story short, I'm not mad about this vacation time that I put in back in October, November. I'm not mad about it one bit. I'm actually enjoying it. And yeah, you know, of course, I'm thinking about my coworkers and, you know, hoping that they're all safe and stuff, but it's just crazy. It's so crazy. Yeah. Have any of you guys, for the ones who have had Noodles and Company before, have you guys had the spicy Thai, peanut Thai? It's really good. It does have a little bit of heat to it. Not much. I get mine with tofu though. But you can get like chicken or shrimp or whatever you want in it. This is basically like my go-to Noodle and Company dish, honestly. I think I probably get this more than anything else. It's so funny because I never used to eat Noodles and Company until recently. And it's like, you know, once...
And
Sorry. So you guys fell off the table. So I was watching TV earlier today, and they were talking about the whole stimulus checks that are supposed to be going out. Supposedly, from what I'm hearing, they should be going out like now, basically. I don't know. I feel like America could do so much more for its citizens, you know? But at the same time, I'm sure it could be a lot worse. Somebody was telling me that Canada, and I don't know if this is true, if there are any Canadian viewers out there, you can chime in, but Canadians are actually getting stipends like bi-weekly from the Canadian government during this time. Like I said, I don't know how true it is, but wouldn't that be nice for the ones who really need it, if they just didn't have to worry, because we don't know how long this is going to go on. And like I said, a lot of people are out of work, a lot of people are laid off, a lot of people are furloughed, and I mean, yeah, some of these mortgage companies, they're willing to kind of suspend your mortgage payment for you, for a few months. I think some of them will do like up to 180 days or something. But you have to pay all that back once you're done. Like, once that forbearance period is over, you have to pay that back. And if people don't have jobs, if they got laid off, how are they supposed to come up with that lump sum of cash to pay that back? Like, I don't see how that helps anybody, especially the people who are in a pinch. Like, how's that going to help them? Because they're going to be in a situation where they can't afford to pay, get back even with their finances if they're, in a hole to start with. So I don't know. And then another thing too, guys. So apparently the American Red Cross is looking for people who have had the virus and who have completely recovered. And apparently you have to have some type of note from your doctor or a doctor showing that you had the virus, like you were actually diagnosed with it. Like they tested you and your test came back positive and you had it. And once people who are recovered, they actually want you, they want your blood because they want the antibodies in your blood. So I found that out, I guess, earlier last week sometime. I thought that was kind of interesting or whatever. But, and of course, they're doing that so that they can try to, use it to come up with some type of vaccine for this. Because they're saying, that this is going to be like a seasonal yearly thing. Like basically what we have with influenza. Like every year, we have flu season. And they're saying that it's going to be the same thing with coronavirus. So like every year, yearly now, it'll be a period of time where it's coronavirus season. I don't know. Honestly, sometimes I'm just tired of thinking about it. I can spend the energy thinking about it a little bit extra now because I'm not working right now. But when I'm at work, like the last thing I want to think about or talk about or hear about is the coronavirus, because at work I have to hear about it, I have to deal with it. And then I don't want to come home and have to hear about it and deal with it. And it's just, you know, that's why people are all stressed out right now. Yeah. I don't know. People are all stressed. And it's because we all have shit going on. We have lives, we have families. You know, people are worried about this virus. You know, some people are trying to figure out how they're going to pay their light bill or their rent or their next mortgage payment. So, I don't know. Everybody's on the edge, I feel like. And if you're one of the ones who is not, you know, you're fortunate enough to where you don't have to worry about those things. You know, you're very blessed. Count yourself lucky, because there are a lot of people who can't say that. Yeah, I don't know, you know. Now I don't know if I told you guys what I was drinking, but this is blueberry lemonade by Minute Maid. It's good. So